We welcome you to this week's edition of MUSpartans.com Spartan Show. Joining us on the set are Blake Moore and Ethan Foster, two members of the international sport governance class that took a trip to England and Ireland over JanTerm. Assistant swimming and diving coach Nicola Jones, along with junior women's diver Ally Roskos and sophomore Anjel Clemente to give us an update, and assistant men's basketball coach Mason Wood and senior Tyler Alexander and sophomore Adrian Johnson to talk about the 2016-17 season. Stay tuned.
A couple of our show hosts sit in the interviewee chairs today as we welcome Blake Moore and Ethan Foster. Blake, can you go ahead and give us the background of the trip that you guys took to the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland?
Sure. So Ethan and I have been gone for a couple of weeks now, as most of our Spartan Show fans have noticed. But anyway, we have been on a 2-week JanTerm trip to Dublin, Ireland and London, England. We were in a 2-week JanTerm trip called International Sport Governance, and we spent a week in both locations. We studied mostly how the structure of sports differs from European sports to the United States sports, and two major areas we really focused on. One was that in the European sports world they have club systems rather than school systems, and then we also focused on how the English Premier League soccer structure works. They have 4 tiers rather than the MLS. They get promotions and relegations, but there were a lot of other topics we talked about, and we had a lot of opportunities to go sightseeing as well. So got a good balance of learning about sports and also just enjoying the scenery and culture of both cities.
Awesome. And Ethan, could you go ahead and say what did you get from the trip as far as from the class standpoint?
Yeah, sure. So like Blake mentioned, as international sport governance, so we really focused in Ireland and London just on how the structure of their sports are set up, and especially Ireland's drastically different than how it is in the States. So we just came away with some knowledge on being able to compare and contrast the systems and decide which way is better when it comes to marketing, advertising, amateur athletics, that kind of stuff. So it really just created some intriguing conversations.
Well, that's good. And finally, for both of you, we'll start with Blake. What are 2 things that you did on the trip that you really enjoyed?
Now, this has been a tough question. I've had to answer this several times this week, and I still haven't came up with a good answer. But I'll start with first an objective from Ireland, and that is that we went to the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher are a natural formation that sit right along the Atlantic Ocean. We had a whole day trip. We were in the Eastern Ireland with Dublin, so we had to travel all the way across the country. We got to experience that. It's just a beautiful scenery, being able to walk up along the ocean side. And we also visited the Burren, which is an area of rock and limestone. That's what the surface of the earth is covered with there. So it's a very interesting, beautiful thing there. And then in London, I think my favorite part of being there was going to the Fulham FC game. We went to a place called Craven Cottage. That's their home stadium, and it just has a lot of history to it. And it's also a very unique place to watch a soccer match. We got to witness one of those games, and just seeing how Europeans react to the soccer match rather than how we do here in the United States, just to be able to see that atmosphere was really cool.
And Ethan, same question.
Yeah, for me, I think Blake hit on it a little bit as well. The Burren was beautiful to me. I think scenic and picturesque everywhere. So I really enjoyed that in Ireland. Just the countryside in Ireland was absolutely gorgeous. And in London, Fulham was great as well, but I also enjoyed Wimbledon a lot. I've always liked tennis, so getting to walk out, see center court, and see all the trophy rooms and all the media rooms was a really cool experience.
Well, awesome. Sounds like you guys had a good trip, and thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
2016-17 Spartan swimming and diving teams competed in the HCAC Invitational this past Friday at Franklin High School. MU's men's team placed 3rd overall, while the women ended up 5th, and individually 2 of the top performances went to our diving duo of junior Ally Roskos and sophomore Anjel Clemente, who now join us, along with assistant coach Nicola Jones. Anjel, we'll start with you. As you look back on your first HCAC Invitational, what was the experience like compared to some of the other events that you've been in this season?
Well, the competition was a lot tougher, so it definitely was a great experience for me. So it was also a lot of fun because a lot of the divers, they have a lot of positive. They have really good positive attitude. So it was really like just a fun experience overall.
Okay, so Angel's second question is, how do you feel that the event has prepared you for what's upcoming with the OAC Championships?
I think it gave me a lot of sense of where I'm at right now in the season, and we're looking forward to hopefully learning a couple of new dives and maybe just tightening some loose screws here and there, and hopefully coming in our best for the OAC.
So now we'll move on to Ally. Ally, first of all, congratulations on defending your 11 dive title at the HCACs. How do you now increase your preparations for this weekend's triangular against Anderson and Olivet and moving forward for the OAC?
Really just making sure like at practice I'm doing everything to the best of my ability and getting a lot of repetition in.
What will be the biggest keys for you to succeed at the OACs when it comes around?
For me, it's more of like doing my personal best and not being mad at myself at the end of the competition and just giving it my all and having fun.
Okay, so now Coach Jones, first of all, you are obviously this diverse mentor and you have been for the last couple of years with Ally. So what's it been like to see each of these individuals, and what qualities do you think that they have had that have made them so successful here early on this season?
Yeah, so when they come to practice, they both give it their 100% and their all. And I think that that's great because even if they're having a bad day or a good day, they just come and they work hard no matter it's a simple dive like a back dive or a more difficult dive like a forward 1.5 with a full twist. They're always working 100% to their ability.
Awesome. We congratulate you on all of your success this weekend. And also just a reminder that the Black and Gold will be hosting Anderson University and Olivet College this Saturday, January the 28th, in their home season finale. Competition will begin at 1 p.m. at the Strauss Peabody Fitness and Aquatic Center. Thank you. This week's highlight section is focused around basketball, as the Spartans men's basketball team had a busy week with 3 games as they finished 2-1, which included knocking off top 10 ranked North Park University on January the 16th. Coach Jared Good's team played 2 conference contests, falling to rival Anderson University 99-87 January the 18th and defeating Earlham College 67-53 on January the 21st. Sophomore guard Adrian Johnson, who we will hear from shortly, and junior forward and center Enes Basarevic led the way in the weekend win, with Johnson scoring 15 points and Basarevic adding 11. MU's women's basketball team finished 2-0 last week to move over 500 in conference play. Sophomore guard Faith Alexis Graham played instrumental roles in both victories, scoring 18 points, a new personal single-game career best, at Anderson University and added 13 versus Earlham College. Senior guard Jennifer Lee also had a strong afternoon against Earlham College with a team-high 15 points. The Black and Gold both return to the court Wednesday as the women host Franklin College and the men go on the road to play the Grizzlies with similar 7:30 p.m. tip-off times.
This week's honor comes from the track. Senior Mariah Jordan helped lead another successful weekend for the Spartans, winning the mile and aiding the distance medley relay to a victory at the Trine Saturday. Jordan's time on the mile is the fastest in the HCAC and the DMR quartet, clocking set a new school record and is also atop the conference and ranked among the top 10 in the NCAA Division III. Congratulations, Mariah.
Our final segment of the week has assistant men's basketball coach Mason Wood, along with senior guard Tyler Alexander and sophomore guard Adrian Johnson joining us. Coach Wood, the team is coming off a busy stretch with 3 games in 6 days last week. What did you and Coach Good see as some of the positives from this busy span?
Well, I think the number one thing that jumps out to me is the amount of assists that we've had. You know, if you look at our games early on, we were struggling to get, 7, 8, 9 assists a game. And if you look back at this stretch of the last 3, 4, 5 games, we've had 15 or more assists in those games. And I think I could be wrong, but, we're 7-2 over the last 9 games. And, you look at Rose-Hulman, we had 25 assists. You look at North Park, we had 18 assists. And all those things have calculated to wins. Now, if you go back in the loss column, at Transylvania, we have 9 assists. And then you go on to those earlier games. Like I said, we were struggling to get that. And then I think the last thing that's really kind of helped us out is we've had different guys step up, whether it was Tyler Billups at North Park, who had 16, or Chase at Rose-Hulman had 24, and then Eric Bell's really stepped up. And Tyler and Robbie are always going to be that constant on the offensive end, where they're going to go out and get you 15, 16, 17 points a game. But we needed other guys to step up, and they've done a really, really good job at doing that.
Yep, awesome. Teamwork, yep. Tyler, as one of the 6 seniors on the squad, what's been the most rewarding part of being in a leadership role with the members of the class of 2017? And how has that helped in the team making a pretty good run in the last couple of weeks?
The good reward is I came with a group of guys that is like brothers to me. So, after the basketball season, whatever happens, we know that we still have each other to call, once this basketball career is over here at Manchester. But what's good for us and what's been helping us, it's just the seniors is just we hold each player so accountable. We make sure we talk to them before the game, before practices. If stuff is going downhill, we make sure we stay communicating with them, stay making sure, keep their heads up. Because us being seniors, being here for 4 years, we just know that talking to the underclassmen when they're down, to pick them up and everything will be okay.
Awesome. Adrian, yourself and freshman Eric Bell have turned into one of the most affordable guard duos around. What's it been like working with Eric in this area?
I like it really well. Me and him, I haven't had a guard like that to play with in a long time. Last year I had the ball in my hands a lot. This year he's really taken over the point guard position. He's really helping me out a lot, and we're getting a lot of assists.
That's awesome. One final question for each of you. It's hard to believe we're in the second half of conference season already. What is one key each of you see towards success down the stretch?
Well, I think, if you look at our road record, we're 1-8 on the road. So these last 8 games that we have, we've got to be able to play the same way on the road that we have, here at home. And I think the other thing that really stands out is we've got to keep teams off the free throw line. If you look at, when we played Anderson, they went to the line 44 times and made 40 free throws. You're not going to win a lot of games doing it that way. And the next thing I think that's going to be important in this last stretch is consistency. We won 3 in a row, then we lose. We go to at Transylvania, come out scared the first 5 minutes, and we lose that game. Then we come back and beat, number 9 North Park. They're ranked number 9 in the country. We come back and win there, lose to Anderson, win on Saturday. So we've got to be able to, in these last 8 games, be able to put a consistent effort together and have energy and enthusiasm on every possession. And I think with this group that we have, our season hasn't gone the way that we all planned, but every goal that we had at the very beginning of the year is still in front of us. And I think if we are able to do those things, we can go on a run here and really accomplish everything that we set out to at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and to follow back off that, I feel like defense is the main key. Defense is what's going to split us from the bottom to the top. We've been, and the coaches has been on us every day about defense, and that's the biggest part of our problem and why our season isn't where it is. We have to start coming together. Like he said, we're 1-8 on the road. When we go away, we have to learn how to be together and not separate ourselves, and that's what takes us away from the game.
Awesome.
And basically what Tyler said, staying aggressive, flying around on defense, and finishing at the rim.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're still going to talk like this for just a second. Okay? So don't screw this up. And then.
Oh, hey. Welcome to the Magic 8 Ball Show. I'm still Coach Paulson. I'm still a volleyball coach here, last time I checked. We're excited to be here today. I have Nate Burke. He is the line smasher something for football. Supposedly he's good. So good for you. That was great. He's also on the Unified Bowling team, which I coach, which is when we partner up with Special Olympics, get a little bowling in. He's pretty good, not bad. You got a ribbon last year?
That's right.
Right? Pretty good. Not a participation one. It had like a number on it, and that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Excited you're here. Oh,
Excited to be here.
good, good. You a big fan of the show?
I'm a huge fan of the show. I love it so much.
You've never watched it, have you?
Not actually.
Okay, yeah. Don't lie. They know. The Magic 8 Ball knows. We have a couple questions, as usual. You got your part, you shake it, and then you read it. That's all you do. Okay, this one's upside down. Nope, I don't like that one. Nope. Let's try this one. Is Coach Paulson the best bowling coach in the HCAC? Good question, me.
Magic 8 Ball says, outlook, not so good. Ouch.
I hate this show.
Yep.
I hate it. Really hurts my feelings.
Good start. Good start.
All right, let's move on. Maybe there's something else good in here. Will Johnny Manziel ever play in the NFL again? Ooh, now we're going outside of Manchester.
Magic 8 Ball says, cannot predict now.
Cop out.
Maybe in the future. Not now.
This is a question sent in by Keaton. He's a big fan of the show, one of our few fans of the show. And he said, would a lion-sized tuna beat a pride of tuna-sized lions?
Ooh, Magic 8 Ball says, as I see it, yes.
Ooh, lion-sized tuna with the big win.
Alrighty.
And the last question, I believe you submitted this one, Burke. Does Coach Jensen sleep with the bronze ball every night?
Magic 8 Ball says, it is certain.
That's right, Jensen. Thanks for joining us again. If you have any questions at all you want to ask the Magic 8 Ball, please email them or just, run into me and ask them. You can also send them to Mark Adkins. If you want to be a guest on the show or you know somebody who's awesome, we're going to try and get Jeannie for next show. Fingers crossed, Jeannie's the best. But if you have ideas, send those in too. And yeah, I think that's all we got. Thanks again.
You're so welcome.
I really appreciate you coming out.
That will wrap up this week's Spartan Show. We'll see you next week.